What's going on, my high vibrational individual expressions of God on earth? Let's break down cognitive therapy. Just finished a class with my students, clients. We was talking about cognitive therapy, what I call KLERONOMICS. Kleros is a Greek word that means management of the soul. Soul is the mind, will, emotion, imagination, and the intellect. The inability to manage the soul gets us into problems, meaning cognitive therapy is the ability to not allow external events to create internal feelings. The inability for an individual to control their own innate attributes and characteristics, that creates what we call problems. A problem is when we are dependent on external events. We don't really process the external events. In other words, they have more power. External events override internal revelation. Now, in order for you to understand that you have a cosmic language, you have a cognitive language. Your cognitive language is inside, is innate, it's God-given, it's pre-matter. So pre-matter physics or pre-matter cognition is what I call cognitive therapy. So from a behavioral modification perspective, it simply means that you can modify. What's up, Brother Cameron? What's up, my brother? It means that you can modify your behavior. Now, I've been doing this for over 30 years. I started with my own, then with my children, family members, and now with my clients. So let's say you're at point A. You want to get to point B. There is space and time between point A and point B. Space and time is an expectation, or lack thereof, and an anticipation. Expectation, anticipation creates space and time. To manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, you need to shorten and or remove space between where you are now and where you want to be, and time. That's the difficulty. So in other words, if you believe something is difficult to manifest, it's going to take you a long time. But it's a belief. And it's done unto you as you believe. That's cognitive therapy. Expectation. Remember, we put expectations on other people. We expect somebody to help us. No. You got to take responsibility. Responsibility means what? Responsibility means to respond to the ability that God has already gave you. So God gave me certain attributes and characteristics that's inside of my name and my date of birth. Same thing for you. God gave you certain attributes and characteristics inside of your name and your date of birth. So when I take my name, that's my lane. That's my cosmic ignition switch. I call that cognition. So cognitive therapy is over an understanding that everybody has been given a specific way that their brain works. It's like your love language. See, I'm a 6, so my love language is communication. My wife is a 4, so her love language is doing. So I'm talking, and she says nothing. But when I start doing stuff, if I start working and helping physical, then that's her language. She responds. But I don't respond when people do stuff. I respond when people say stuff because I'm a communicator. So the same thing when it comes to taking action. Taking action means that you are literally connected to your cosmic ignition switch inside of what I call your life optimization circle. So my cognitive switch, let me show it to you here on my wall. So I remind myself every day, this is how God designed me. So my brain, this is my outer personality, my inner personality number. This is my outer personality number. So these numbers mean that the way that my brain works, my brain thinks very independently, very peacefully, and very creatively. For me to solve problems, I got to be alone, so to speak. I don't need a lot of help, but I must be in a peaceful environment so I can create a solution. That's how my inner brain works. My outer brain works differently. So I got a left brain and a right brain. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere. Left, right hemisphere, my brain. So for me to create outwardly, freedom, stability, sophistication. Each one of these three numbers, these three and these three, notice where they're at. They're across from each other. This is my path, takes me to my cash. That's my date of birth. This is all the letters in my name. All the letters in my name establishes my lane. Those are sigils. Those are signets. Those are signs. Those are runes. Another study for another time. This are my vowels in my name. 3, 2, 1. This is the consonants in my name. 5, 4, 9. So my left hemisphere thinks very independently, very peacefully, very creatively. My right hemisphere processes information, freedom, stability, sophistication. That's the way my brain works. Everybody's brain establishes their God-given lane. If you don't understand how your brain works, you don't understand how your lane works. Everybody has their own God-given brain. That's called cognition. Cognition is just simply how your brain works. That's it. But what if I try to operate my brain according to, let's say, Brother Cameron? So Brother Cameron's brain works different from mine. Everybody, and I was just going over a class a few minutes ago with some of my clients, and I was explaining to each one of them how their brain works. Now, what if you don't know how your brain works? So if you don't understand your brain, then you're not occupying your God-given lane. My brain processes information differently. But at the end of the day, I cannot make decisions based upon external events that's outside of my control. I make decisions based upon internal attributes and characteristics that allows me to process and perceive and see external information. I can control the weather. Let's say I got a picnic scheduled and an outdoor party. It starts to rain. How do I respond? Do I get angry? Do I get upset? No, I do not. I bring the party inside. Why? I have innate attributes and characteristics to be able to override any external pattern or event. So when something happens outside of me, outside of my control, I don't get upset. It doesn't affect my self-image. Most people's self-image is affected by negative events. Most people's self-image is affected by their behavior. If I do something bad, if I do a sin, how do I feel? Like if you're a sinner, how do you feel? Well, if you read the Bible and the Bible says thou shalt not steal. You get hungry and you go steal something, you feel what? See, when I do bad, I feel good. When I do good, I feel good. So all day, every day, I feel good. Remember, I don't do morality. I do causality. What causes morality? See, if you do cause, you'll always have morality. But if you do morality, you won't have causality. You may and you may not. See, most people live and they operate their life according to events outside of themselves instead of according to events inside of themselves. Meaning, what I have doesn't establish my self-worth and my self-image. If I have a lot of money, a lot of people have a lot of money, they feel good. When they broke, they feel bad. So your self-image goes down based upon what you have. A lot of people's self-image is controlled by what they do. So if you got a job and you're doing good on your job, you feel good. But if you got a job and you're doing bad on your job, you feel bad. That doesn't work either. That damages your self-image. My self-image is not affected by what I have, and it's not affected by what I do. My self-image is established by who I be. It's not about what you do, and it ain't about what you have. It's about who you are designed by God to be. The average Negro don't know who they're designed by God to be. Now, we got warm and fuzzy, we got religion, and we got all of this feel-good stuff. But at the end of the day, bro, you better have what I call light bill paying theology. If you ain't got no light bill paying theology, bro, you're in trouble. Simply means, can you produce results? So I got an offer for you. 4 books, $40. 4 books, $40. These 4 books changed my life. That's why I wrote them. So I can share this information with other people. Blueprint to Success, Effective Coping Mechanism, KLERONOMICS, and I Am Too Human. 4 books, $40. Just go to the website, masterteacher33.com. Click on the link that says donation, $40, and I'll send you the PDF copies of these 4 books. 4 books, $40, brothers and sisters. That's it for today. Man, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I don't even have to know you, and I know that I love you. Why? Because you're another individual expression of God on earth, just like me. See, we are all one in the spirit. We may have a lot of different colors, a lot of, different genders, different cultures, different race, but at the end of the day, there's one source and there's many channels. I'm going to see you at the top.